And welcome to the 12th episode of the Behind the Fleet podcast with your host. It's just Miss Wells. You guys know you can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And tonight I've got a very, very, very special guest with me on this 12th episode. Kim, the SSB, introduce yourself and tell people where they can find you and follow you on social media.
What's happening, my beautiful faces? It is I and she is me, your girl, Kim, the SSB, representing all things beautiful that pertains to Tennessee. If you want to find out for sure exactly what that is, what that entails, and see if you can be a part of it, all you have to do is follow me on IG at kim.da.ssb.
There you go. Okay, so Kim, I heard you in your intro. You said all things Tennessee. Is that where you're currently located, born and raised, or talk a little bit
Well, honey, I am a Mississippi girl living in the Tennessee world.
about it? Okay.
Yes, I'm originally from the hot Delta, Clarksdale, home of the Crossroads to be exact. But currently, I am in Memphis.
Okay. So when did you become interested in music? Like, is this something that was in your family? Is it something you were exposed to in school or just in your heart?
Well, I don't have that beautiful story. When I started off in church, I don't have that story. I did sing in the church choir. No, take that back. It wasn't a church choir. It was a school choir.
Okay.
That was pretty much like my start, I would say. Had an amazing choir director. Rest in peace, Mr. Forte. And I think that probably was like the peak of it. I just thought it was fun, something that my friends was doing. But later on in life, there was like music was a part of me. That was my therapy. That was how I got away from stuff. And growing up, things going on in my household, that was like a coping mechanism for me. Being a plus size girl, especially the only one in the family at the time, music was like my thing. We had some good music. I don't really want to tell y'all. I ain't gonna. No, the 90s and the 80s, that was the place to be when it came to music. Let me tell y'all, yes,
It
I said
was.
because I was there. Um, but I don't come from like a musical background or anything like that. But that good soul for music, blues, listen, before there was Southern Soul, we had blues. Okay, like Tyrone Davis, Bobby Rush, Betty Wright. We had blues. And now that was a big thing in my household. Blues and R&B. Y'all don't laugh at me, but rap wasn't something I really got into until I came to Memphis. The most that I
Mhm.
knew about was like Too Short or some hip hop. Other than that, too, yeah, of course, we had the controversial Tupac, Biggie, but in my household, it was mainly we listened to blues and
Okay.
yep.
Okay, so the music has been therapy for you. Let's talk a little bit about your journey into the music and entertainment industry. Like, how did you embark into this? Like, where was your end to what you're doing now?
Believe it or not, running my mouth. I had no. When I tell you, Miss Wade, I had no intentions. If somebody had told me about 5 years ago, girl, you have your own radio show and it'll be playing on these different stations. You will meet these people. I probably would pass out from laughing. I knew little to absolutely nothing besides FM, satellite radio. AM, you're gonna catch maybe some in the backwoods station. That's all I knew about radio. So
Okay.
I knew one of the brothers, Masonic brothers. He said he had a radio show. I thought that was funny. And all of this was over playing spades. So if you
Okay.
don't play spades, you just never know what type of you miss out on. So if you don't have your I play spades card, get you one. It may change your life. I thought he was playing. I kid you not. I was like, yeah, okay. Like, dude got a radio station. Okay. And turns out he was actually telling the truth.
Okay.
So at the time, I was doing just like random. I get on Facebook and just rant about different stuff, like snowed in music day, and we just talking. And I'll play some type of music. And I remember one time he was like, well, we looking for radio personalities." So, okay. And so me goofing off, I replied to the post I think on Facebook, and I think I did that twice, goofing off, trying to be funny. I wasn't being serious. He was like, "Man, for real, you should try it." He was like, "I tell you what, I'm gonna take it all. I'm gonna take myself out the picture. Talk to, I think he was VP or something like that, or he was pretty much the one that was handled the recruiting."
Okay.
Fine. I went to the orientation. Girl, when I tell you God will put you at a table, and some people say you not qualified, I'm listening. Styles was one of them. That was when I first met Styles. Everybody giving a rundown. They did this type of show, and I work with these artists. I DJ for this, and I do this, and I'm like, oh, I've done motivational speaking before. I like to entertain people. I love music. That was it. That was pretty much it. So he was like, Ocean was like, okay, I'm gonna give you. I think you should do it. So it was a great group of people. He was like, if nothing else, you can at least try it.
Okay.
And so I did my part, helping out. Building a. I think at the time, Storm them were relocating. So, because I came to a couple of came to his station, I think before. So when we did the training part, it was catching on. I was shocking myself. I kid you not, how quick, like some of the technical parts, but it was like when they put me in front of the mic, it was stuff coming straight out the dome. I
Mm.
tried writing, it wouldn't work. It would just literally come to me. So a guy named Nick was there, Styles, all of them helped me kind of create everything. And this literally, I came in learning from the jump. And I think it's been 3 or 4 years. So he introduced me to, when we started the show, the lounge, because I love cigars, and I love, like, my club days are gone. So I'm at the auntie age in my life. I need a nice lounge, a nice cocktail, some good music, and that's
Chicken wings, sit up and get the good food. Give me a little good
it.
food and it's over.
Yep. Other than that, y'all, the clubs and beef being free before 10, them days are, nah, them days are gone. So he introduced me to Fleet, and the rest, I was overwhelmed once again. But I met some amazing people
Okay.
in the process, and it's like him, the SSB, took on a whole new life from that point.
So you said Styles is the one that introduced you to Fleet?
It was Storm. Storm,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Storm and
Sorry.
Power 99 first, and Styles was in the orientation when I went. But what was so funny, y'all, this is how the universe works. Styles had actually DJ'd at a party I was at. So I had saw him once before, and I knew he was a good DJ because I saw him at that event. So yep.
Mm. And 6 degrees of separation. It always gonna come back to you, and the universe is always gonna put you exactly where you need to
Where
be at
you
to get
supposed
the
to
purpose
be.
done.
Yep. Yep.
So you already segued into what my next question is going to be: is how has Fleet changed your business and brand since you've been a part of it?
Oh my God. And it's so funny. I just had this conversation today with DJ Tequila. It has literally put me in a position where I had no idea I would be in. And honestly, it started from the conference, the Fleet DJ conference. When I went my first year, I networked and talked to so many people. And it's like some of those same people, I've built a relationship with them now. I watched other members to see what they were doing, because I really didn't know my, like, where I fit in compared to everybody else, because Fleet was more heavily on DJs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, as a host, where do I get in there? So, hon, I did what I do best. I started talking. So there was one guy, my first no, he was my first interview as a fleet member was with Rob J. He was so cool. He allowed me to interview him at the conference. And then so the whole time I was at the conference, I did not know there were people actually watching me. And so when we got back, real deal, mentioned like he gave me a shout out about what he saw I was doing. So from there, I got a Miss South award, and it was like it was going back to back. So before I left Power 99, I was asked to do a red carpet event. Never did anybody been on a red carpet. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And again, God surrounded me with the perfect people. They didn't treat me like, oh my God, why is she here? What do her credentials look like? The one guy that was a videographer, he was like, I got you. If you have a memory card, I can take these pictures. You do the interviews. This is where you stay at and all of that. And we've actually been cool ever since. So that's what Miriam, amazing publicist in Memphis, came into play. Meeting her was like the icing on the cake. From then on, I've been a part of the Memphis media, so I've done more events, interviewing more celebrities, and then just from that, I ended up leaving Power 99, and I left Power 99, and I am now on about 12 stations. Um,
Wow.
Yes, and that is major, major, major shout out to Dub Six. He was before he became manager, he was already on stations. And I think doing a meeting or something like that, he mentioned about offering advertisement assistance if anybody needed. Because I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do next. And so I was seeing people like T Quest and at the time like Miss Tan, all of them were doing like great stuff. I'm like, what? I love watching these women work. So he had listened to some of the shows and then was just telling me like different things to tweak and things like that. And I mean, it went from that one show, and as he brought me onto different stations, like he would do, all I had to do was work on, get all my music together, and just be me. And he do like connecting with the stations and stuff like that. And there were actually people in Fleet like, hey, I like your show. We want to add it to our station. Like Two Fly was I was my show was added to Two Fly. Gumbo Radio, I've been with them. See, I mean, they was like, yep. Um, yeah, I think they've been two of the longest one. Pinky, I was on her station for a minute, so we're going back to that. So now we're about a dozen stations in.
That is amazing. Like, what is that? And for the people that don't know, like, we are both members of the Tennessee Fleet Division. Fleet is made up of all these nuggets of places in well, 48 or 47 states. It's like 3 or 4 states that we are not
Yeah,
in,
and
right?
international. And
And
international.
international, right? So, like, this is a huge division, and Kim and I are in the Tennessee division. So, when we're talking about this, know that that's what we're talking about. But on the national level, on the bigger side of Fleet, like, tell these people a little bit about what your role is and what you've grown into now.
Okay. So right now I am the regional division manager for Fleet. Like she said, we have a lot of entities when it comes to Fleet. I love to say it is your one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have producers, we have photographers, models, hosts, and hosts are just like myself and Miss Wells. You have some people have podcasts, radio shows. I mean, you name it, we have it. So as the regional division manager, I get to oversee all of those great people. so that we're taking their skills and their talents and kind of pushing it to the next level and merging it with what Fleet has to offer so that we can be a better benefit for what's going on in the music industry.
There you go. Like, I think that's a perfect summary of why I'm doing this particular podcast so people can understand we're the muscle behind you when you don't have that big label or
Yeah.
have those huge dollars to really be able to pour into it. This is the place, and we are the people that's going to be able to help you take your business and your brand, your songs, your tracks, whatever it is that you're working on, to a completely different level because we're in the US, we're international. No matter what type of genre you're looking for or particular audience that you're targeting to try to get in front of, there's somebody within this organization that's, if they're not doing it, they know somebody who is, that's going to be able to get you where you need to be at and in front of the people that you need to talk to. So thank you for giving that synopsis of what you bring to this division and just how, well, this organization and just how big it is and whole.
Yeah, because we actually have someone that's familiar in every genre except for K-pop. That's the only one. Country, EDM, Latin, gospel. We got you.
You know, that's so crazy. Like, my daughter is a huge K-pop fan, and I went to a concert with her, and I kid you not, I was like, this
Are
is
they
bomb.
serious? Yes.
Like, this is bomb.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it is only a matter of time. We're going to put it into existence on the 12th episode of Behind the Fleet podcast. Miss Kim said we don't have a K-pop division yet. But by the end of 2024, let's see if we can make that happen, Kim,
Yep.
off of these
Yep.
interactions, because that's a whole different genre. It's a completely different demographic that is so similar to what we already have here.
Yeah.
And I think once people open up their mind and get past the visuals and actually listen to the music the same way that they do anything else, what they realize is that it's the same.
Yep.
It's a vibe. They're gonna give you that upbeat. They're gonna give you that R&B feel. They're gonna get you in your feelings. It's gonna do all the good things. So,
Yep. And I think a lot of parents are starting to like it too because some of the music is more, I guess, like on the cleaner side. If that's
yeah.
than compared to what's out there now, the kids are listening to.
You know, and what it reminds me of is more of like that 80s, 90s music, in excuse me, way that the industry used to be. The way that they dress, the videos that they come up with, it's really about the vocals and less about the body,
Right.
the hints of other stuff that sometimes R&B and hip hop can put out there. It's true to the music, and I like it for that part.
Yeah.
So, Kim, one of the other things that I always like to do on this particular platform is I like to be able to tell people about the period of time in this journey where it was rough and you had to, like, you really had to grind it out to keep yourself moving and going. Like, can you talk about an experience that you've had while you've been out here where you thought, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue? And how you were able to push yourself through that moment to be where you are right now.
Woo.
I know that's tough.
Well, yeah, I know as cliche as it sounds, unfortunately, being in such a male dominant industry, I can personally say I have had my fair share of madness because I am an outgoing female. And I'm not an alpha female by a long shot. But because of personal experiences and being the type of person who was in a sense kind of forced in the shadows. So now I've learned to be vocal. So if something is bothering me, if I have a question, I usually will ask until I get clarity. And that tends to come off to some people as controlling, and child, I am far from that. So I have had I've had some male people in the industry who just were not too welcoming. They weren't too fond of the idea. Men, they tend to get content, and you try to implement something new. They like, I see the potential in you. I'm trying to help you out, and now they don't see it that way because it wasn't their idea. Um, so that was a very, especially by me being so new. And even though I'm in other organizations where we do have male counterparts and we have that interaction, it was very different for me to be treated that way. And at the same time, I had kids that's growing and active, and I'm like having to be a mom and dealing with that and try to figure out how to deal with this at the same time. And by being so new, I was struggling with, okay, God, you brought me here. And I know you don't make any mistakes, but I'm about to go ahead and go back to what I was doing. Like, there's no money involved in it. Like, it was fun, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and check out now. But again, I ended up coming in contact with some great people. I did do a lot of soul searching and praying because, but it was like every time there was madness, it was a beautiful situation. Like, it would never fail. And I'm like, man, okay, God, I guess I'll stick around because I was about ready to go, but it was like for every person that was getting on my nerve, there were like three other people that I was coming in contact with, and that was willing to work with me and wanted me to help them with X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, y'all know I had the experience, right? But just me being me was good enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna that's gonna be what it's gonna be. And it honestly it took some time. It really, really took some time for me to get over that. But I also learned because I feel like everything that I do, it is for a reason and it has its own purpose. So it's hard for me to kind of separate everything because I've learned everything I do is all connected. Fleet as a whole has truly been instrumental in my life and my growth, whether it's relationship wise, me just being more able to speak. Because I also use my platform to talk about my own personal experiences in life. One of my models is I speak from experience and not from a textbook. So parts of my show, I actually will give information or give insight on whether it be my experience as a domestic violence survivor, or when it comes to me being the size that I am and dating and love and stuff like that. So my negative interaction with some people, it actually helped me become stronger because you still you gonna have some people because I did have an artist girl one time. Oh, he just wanted to have an interview, and then like, you're a little too close, player. Just go ahead, y'all go. And but the previous situation actually built me for those moments, and so now it's like water rolling off a duck back. Like, you mad? Okay, get glad. You know the rest. I
It's
don't.
a process where you grow. Like, we're in a couple of other organizations outside of Fleet, and it's a different ball game here. And it does require you to get that thick skin, but the industry requires for you to have that too, because if you don't have some type of guidance or purpose or boundaries, then this this industry will run you ragged. It'll get you out and not even So talk a little bit about what you are currently working on right now as the regional West director.
Regional division manager.
Regional division manager. Excuse me. What is that looking like? What are you working on with that?
All right. So outside of a couple like admin changes, we are of course gearing up for our 13th annual Fleet DJ conference, which will be in Orlando.
Yeah,
So
July 18th.
Yes. And I'll be there. Will you be there? Um,
First say there's gonna be a little surprise person creeping on through. We'll
right,
see.
y'all
We'll
want to see
see.
it? Well, come on live in living color. But outside of that, like I said, we're gearing up for the conference. We have some great divisions that's doing some wonderful things, and they're working on promoting more. One being like our gospel division, they are bringing. I mean, every time I look up, they are interviewing some great gospel artists. And let me tell y'all something. Don't just think Dottie Peoples. Okay, we not way back in the day. They've had some calls with some more. I wouldn't say like I don't know if youthful or Kurt Franklin kind of
Okay.
sort of,
Yeah.
yeah, and more appealing to young listeners as well. I would say that. The same with the R&B division. You can most definitely. I think R&B division has a Instagram page. You can check them out. They are always having events where all of our R&B artists you can come, like the Sip and Sing. Their music can be played, and you can bring a cocktail or mocktail of your choice, and you actually would get feedback from people in the R&B division or from Fleet as a whole, and it's no charge for you. Okay, there have been people such as myself who have offered free interviews to people, or their music. Hey, I like it. Send me a DJ service pack, and we play it.
Yeah.
Our land division is growing. We are getting back in the swing of that, having more interviews because Latin is a huge division. I mean, it is that genre is growing. I went to the Memphis Hip Hop Awards. They gave away their first Latin award. Yeah, so
You
like
gotta stop sleeping on it. It's
yeah,
music is changing. It's changing. Right before
yes,
let me not say it's changing.
it's evolving.
It's evolving. It's
Yep.
evolving. Yeah. Okay, well, listen, Kim, my goal with these shows is to be able to bring the members of Fleet onto a platform where people can understand more about who are the muscles, who is the engine that's keeping this organization going. And without someone like you in the Tennessee division, on a regional level, on a national level, just being a person inside of this organization as a whole, we would not be able to be who we are and have the muscle power that we currently do. Please, 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 before you head out of here, tell these people one more time how they can connect with you, how they can stay in tune with the movement. And if you guys are interested in being involved in the conference, you want to know more about the Tennessee division, you want to figure out how can I get on Kim's show, give them all that info.
Well, that is a great, great question. Of course, you guys can follow me on IG at kim.da.ssb, as well as go to our fleetdjs.com website. There's a lot of information. You can check out, find actually some of those managers. If you are in particular, so if you are a certain artist, like I say, i.e. R&B, led EDM, and you're looking to have your music heard or played and all that good stuff, go ahead, go to the Fleet DJ website, and we got you. And of course, if you can't reach us that way, y'all go ahead and make sure you hit up It's Just Miss Wells, okay?
Well, until next time, folks, we appreciate you tuning in to the 12th edition of the Behind the Fleet podcast with your host, It's Just Miss Wells. Follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And until next time, we're out of here, folks.